The future of the auto industry is electric. There's no turning back. And as Rory says, the American auto industry is at a crossroads. This deal has also put Americans to work through a first-ever national effort to install electric vehicle charging stations.
Joe Biden's administration is set to loosen rules around America's transition to electric vehicles.
Joe Biden stuns EV makers with a shocking statement. Will Joe Biden's bold statement about EVs have the potential to change the market dynamics of the EV industry, or will unexpected challenges make it another failed attempt? As awareness of environmental issues grow, EVs stand out as an example of sustainable transportation. Recently, President Biden, a known advocate for the environment, made a striking declaration that caught everyone's attention. He urged EV manufacturers with strong words. EVs are the future. Why are you guys backing out now? Don't stop production. These words showcase his deep commitment to making our world greener. But here's a twist. Biden faces an unexpected challenge, even with many incentives to boost EV sales. Surprisingly, it's not the car makers or the tech that's the problem, but the average citizen's hesitation to jump on the EV bandwagon. Why is this? Let's dive in and find out. To get the full picture, let's rewind and see how EVs have become so popular in the fight against pollution. Why is Biden so keen on EVs? Transport contributes to about 29% of total U.S. greenhouse gas emissions, and EVs can significantly reduce this. Recognizing their potential to cut emissions, the Biden administration has been pushing hard for EVs. They've rolled out many incentives to make EVs the norm rather than the exception. These incentives can be understood through three primary categories: financial incentives, infrastructure development, and research and innovation support. So, are you ready to know about Biden's mind-blowing investments to promote EVs? A key aspect of making EVs more accessible is through financial incentives, particularly tax credits. The tax credits work by reducing the amount of income tax that a buyer owes. For instance, if you purchase an EV that qualifies for a $7,500 tax credit and you owe $10,000 in income tax, your tax bill is reduced to $2,500. These credits make EVs more affordable for the average consumer by lowering the upfront cost. However, it's important to note that these tax credits have eligibility criteria, such as the make and model of the EV, and are subject to phase out for manufacturers after they sell a certain number of vehicles. In addition, one of the challenges of EV adoption is the availability of charging stations. To address this, the administration has allocated grants for building more EV charging stations. This expansion is crucial for alleviating range anxiety, the fear that an EV will run out of power without access to a charging station. By increasing the number and spread of charging stations, these grants aim to make EVs more practical for longer journeys and everyday use. On Monday, the Biden administration announced it will begin a $3.1 billion plan to boost domestic manufacturing of batteries in a broader effort to shift the country away from gas-powered cars to electric vehicles. The funding will support grants aimed at building, retooling, or expanding the manufacturing of batteries and battery components, as well as establishing battery recycling facilities. The grants will be funded through President Joe Biden's $1 trillion infrastructure law, which includes more than $7 billion to uplift the country's battery supply chain. Finally, there's a significant investment in research and development by Biden's government. This funding aims to improve EV technology, including enhancing battery efficiency, reducing charge time, and increasing the longevity of EVs. This aspect is vital for the future of EVs, as it focuses on making them more user-friendly, cost-effective, and efficient. Advancements in technology will likely lead to a broader acceptance of EVs as they become more comparable and eventually superior to traditional combustion engine vehicles in performance and convenience. Why all the fuss, you ask? Well, these incentives are not just about selling more EVs. They're about creating a ripple effect. More EVs on the road mean less pollution, healthier air, and a big step towards tackling climate change. But here's the catch. Even with all these efforts, not everyone's rushing to buy an EV. Why? Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe as we unravel this mystery and explore what's holding people back from embracing a cleaner, greener future. Turning to public perception, there are several reasons why people might hesitate to buy EVs. One of the most common concerns is range anxiety. The average EV can travel about 250 miles on a full charge, which varies greatly depending on the model. For comparison, most gasoline cars can travel upwards of 300 miles on a full tank. This difference, although narrowing, makes some potential buyers nervous about running out of power, especially in areas with few charging stations. Then there's the issue of charging infrastructure. While there's been significant growth in the number of public charging stations, with over 100,000 charging outlets across the U.S. as of recent counts, the distribution is uneven. Urban and metropolitan areas have a higher concentration of these facilities compared to rural areas. This disparity further deters potential buyers who live in less served locations. Cost is another major factor. Despite the long-term savings on fuel and maintenance, EV's initial purchase price is generally higher than conventional vehicles. For example, the average price of a new electric car can be around $10,000 more than a comparable gasoline car. Even with potential tax credits, this price difference can be a significant barrier for many consumers. For example, Ford F-150 Basic costs around $50,000, whereas a good gasoline vehicle costs around $35,000, which is around 30% cheaper than the starting price of electric cars. Moreover, the EV industry has its own set of challenges, which makes it unattractive to the market despite being the only solution to sustainability in the future. What are they exactly? Firstly, producing an electric vehicle is notably costly. A major factor is the battery, the heart of an EV. As of recent data, the battery alone can account for more than 30 to 40% of the total vehicle cost. These batteries use lithium, cobalt, and nickel, which are expensive and have supply chain issues due to high demand and limited sources. Another technical hurdle is the complexity of EV technology. Unlike traditional cars, electric vehicles require advanced electronics and software for managing battery usage, which adds to the complexity and cost of production. Furthermore, establishing a reliable network of suppliers for these specialized components can be challenging. Much of the raw material required for EV batteries, like lithium and cobalt, is imported. This reliance on imports adds to the cost due to factors like shipping, tariffs, and the volatility of international markets. It also creates a dependency on foreign sources, which can be a strategic vulnerability in geopolitical tensions faced by the U.S. In addition, most importantly, extracting raw materials for EV batteries raises ethical concerns. For example, cobalt mining, predominantly in the Democratic Republic of Congo, has been criticized for inhumane working conditions, including child labor. These ethical issues pose a moral dilemma for manufacturers and consumers alike, and can affect the brand image and consumer acceptance of EVs. While keeping these challenges in mind, here comes the most significant twist to our plot, which I'm sure will shock you despite the unfavorable environment of EVs in the market. Ford and General Motors, giants in the automotive industry, have committed heavily in the EV industry in the hope of market growth in the future. However, this transition has not been without its financial strains. For example, Ford reported in early 2023 that their EV business segment was operating at a loss, with each electric vehicle sold actually costing the company money. Specifically, Ford's CEO revealed that they were losing about $2,000 on every electric Mustang Mach-E sold. Similarly, GM has also faced challenges, though they've been more guarded with specific financial details. The story is similar for other automakers venturing into the electric vehicle space. Companies like Nissan, BMW, and Volkswagen have all made substantial investments in EVs, facing initial financial strains. These companies have had to balance research and development costs, redoing their manufacturing processes, and marketing their new electric models against uncertain immediate returns. And it's not only the giant automotive industry leaders who are so pessimistic about the future. The U.S. government, particularly the White House, is also actively promoting the use of electric vehicles. Their goal is ambitious, to see 50% of all new vehicle sales being electric by 2030. The administration has pledged to replace its federal fleet of 600,000 cars and trucks with electric power by 2035. In the global context, the U.S. ranks third in the EV market, behind China and Europe. However, the penetration of EVs in the U.S. market is still low, with electric vehicles making up only 4% of new car sales last year. This statistic indicates significant growth potential for EVs in the U.S. market. As U.S. Secretary of Energy Jennifer M. Granholm stated, positioning the United States as a leader in advanced battery technology and EV production is crucial for its competitiveness in the global market. So, as we stand at this crossroads, the question arises, will the collective efforts of industry leaders and government initiatives be enough to overcome these hurdles? Can the promise of a cleaner, more sustainable future outweigh the immediate challenges and costs? The answer remains to be seen. The race to an electric future is on, and the finish line is still out of sight. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button to see how this story of innovation, struggle, and transformation unfolds.